Hello, welcome to the Ensemble Experience, a podcast series by the Choral Arts Society of Washington, where choir members turn the spotlight on each other. Each episode brings two voices together to share personal stories, memorable moments, and the history they created within our choir. Discover the bonds and experiences that make our choral community unique. This week's episode, I am joined by
Shannon Arnold. I have been with Choral Arts as the assistant conductor since August, and it's been a real pleasure and a joy to be working with the ensemble.
and
Raymond Honeycutt. I've been singing with the Choral Arts Society now since September. I'm really enjoying it, and it's just a wonderful group. And one of the things that makes it so wonderful is Shannon and her leadership with Marie. So I'm really pleased to be doing this interview with her.
and this is their Ensemble Experience.
Raymond, what does being part of this choir mean to you personally?
It allows me as a non-professional volunteer musician to go to another level of excellence. That's what it means. And to have camaraderie and fellowship with like-minded folks. That's really important. And I get that from this group in spades.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that being, you and I have had conversations before about how we're both in church music. And as wonderful as that is, it's hard to really dive into any particular piece of music as much as we like to, because whether we're ready or not, we have to sing on Sunday.
That's right.
So it's
And move on.
Yeah, and then move on. Right. We can't revisit that music when you're in a chorus like this. Yes, there's the concert, but the music is selected with that in mind, being able to get to that final destination. And so it's a little different. And I do think that the average church singer is a little different than somebody in choral arts, right? The level of excellence that we'd like to achieve is much higher, perhaps, than in a church choir setting. So I totally feel that. We've talked about this before, but what role does music play in your life outside of choir practice?
It is my main source of spirituality. It is what brought me back from basically, I had moved into basically being an agnostic atheist, and I found the Episcopal Church in May of 1992, coming up on 33 years. And 2 weeks later, I was in the choir. So it's a major component of my spirituality. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, I think it's similar for me. I've been in choral music. Obviously it's a huge part of my life because I decided to major in it and do it professionally. But I think for me, when I am in church, it is the time that the music is when I feel most connected to my faith. So I can relate to that. But in terms of music outside of outside of choir, it's funny that I don't really experience music a whole lot. I do more now with a child because she wants to be listening to music all the time, which is really great. But it's not necessarily the music that I'd be choosing to listen to on my own, right? But prior to having a child, I really didn't listen to music unless it was for work, which people often are surprised by. But I kind of need that ear break, if that makes sense. I don't want to be consumed by it all the time. And like my theoretical brain is always working. So when I'm listening to music, I'm analyzing it and thinking about, how it could be used in a different setting, So it's hard for me to use music truly in the background. I know people like to study with it or cook with music. And I don't even cook with music in the background. And I love to cook. But it's not something like I can't separate my brain from the music. So I have to do those kinds of things in silence. Like even in the car, I listen to podcasts instead of listening to music. So
Interesting.
yeah, it is a little unusual. Um, so I think this is an interesting question. How do you prepare for a performance, and what are your routines or rituals to help you get ready?
Um, well, I don't like to miss rehearsals. So like tonight I'm going to have to miss half of a rehearsal. I'm going to come at 7:30 and basically stay until the break. Because I have surgery tomorrow. uh, but first and foremost, try to miss as few rehearsals as possible. Second, uh, I really during the rehearsals I like to put my music down and try my best to memorize what I'm learning. Um, so that the music is basically just something is like a walker, if you will, for someone who is uh, not completely steady on their feet, but can walk,
Hmm.
right? So the music is like a walker, not like a crutch.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I really try to do, and to listen to the piece as many times as I can. Um, the tenors have been getting together for sectionals. Haven't had a huge turnout so far, but we have had some people turn out. And that's been helpful to have some extra time outside of outside of our time together as a chorus to work on the music.
Do you have any like day of concert things that you have to do before a performance? I mean,
No,
I know I don't. So I'm just curious
no.
whether you do.
And I'll tell you, this last concert, I felt so comfortable with Haydn's creation. Normally, I have a little bit of anxiety, not a lot, but just a little kind of oh, well, I hope this goes well. It just was like, this is going to go well.
Yeah, I
I've
felt
never
that too.
felt,
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
I've never felt that confident before.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I think a lot of it was Marie's expertise in preparing us so well and making sure that we had spent enough time on all of the music. But I also think there's a lot to be said about knowing the music as long as we did, because we one of the movements was the audition for the chorus this year.
Right.
And since everybody had to audition because Marie was new, everybody knew it. And then on top of that, because we've known it, parts of it since August or before, for people who were prepping before then. I mean, it's just kind of in you, right? So you knew it already such a large extent, and because we rehearsed it in the fall, that really helped
Yeah.
with more
Yeah.
than just the movement that we did for the auditions. But
That was genius, by the way, making everyone audition to that. That was genius.
yeah, I mean, there's no point in making everybody learn a bunch of music that you're not going to sing, right?
Right.
It's just not logical. And to be frank too, auditioning for a chorus and singing an aria or two arias or whatever just isn't realistic to what you do in choral music, right? Like, you're not singing solo, so why prepare something that way? It makes more
Exactly.
sense to prepare something that you're actually, used to singing in a chorus, because a lot of people in choruses don't even sing by themselves on the regular or ever, so it just doesn't make any sense to do that. Right. Yeah. Cool. So, had you ever been in a chorus like Choral Arts before you joined?
Yeah, I sang for 8 years. I sang with the Washington Gay Men's Chorus. And in fact, I was there the last rehearsal before the COVID shutdown. And after COVID, I just didn't go back. It's a wonderful group, uh, but it doesn't, it's not exactly the style and quality of music that I want to do all the time. Having said that, did some amazing things with them. I sang at the Kennedy Center. I want to say 2017, 2018, we did Carmina Burana. another chorus joined us, so we had some altos and sopranos. And we did Carmina Burana at the Kennedy Center. We sang, Thea Kano, who was the director there. She is an amazing musician, and her doctoral thesis was on the Duraflé Requiem. So she went over to Paris, spent the summer arranging the Duraflé Requiem for TTBB,
Wow.
and we did that. Sang that at Epiphany Episcopal here in DC. So wonderful. They do some wonderful music, but that's what I want all the time, not half the time, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, the group that I used to conduct in Southwest Florida, we were basically, all classical standard repertoire, I mean, obviously we'd have a pops concert here and there, but it was still more in the vein of more serious music as opposed to, and there's a place and it's important to have all of those things. But there's a reason that people sing in certain ensembles, and it's because, they're drawn more towards the repertoire, or the
Right.
conductor, or both.
Right.
So yeah, that's an important part of it. So, what has been the most surprising thing about being a part of Choral Arts for you?
I can't think of anything that's been surprising. Um, it was pretty much what I expected. A group of, a couple hundred people coming together who have a serious love for serious music and excellence therein. And that's what I was expecting, and that's what I got.
Yeah,
So
cool.
I can't really say that I'm surprised by anything. Um, I'm looking forward to. I'm actually about to retire from my job, so the Department of Labor offered early retirement. So next Friday, May 2nd, is my last day
Oh my gosh.
with the Department of Labor. They'll continue to pay me until it's 31st of December, and then I'll retire on January 1st. So I'm looking forward to. In the past, I've not done more social things because it was just, work. Next day was a work day, but I'm looking forward to doing more social things with Choral Arts going forward.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean the Tuesday nights that's a late thing. I mean, I have first Tuesdays I have trouble. I've been to two, and I think that's a lot for me because it's so late, and I have early morning Wednesday commitments. So it's a quick turnaround for me, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun to get to know people in the ensemble a little bit more through just grabbing a drink with everybody and hanging out. It's an important part of the whole experience, right? I think that more than just trying to create beautiful music together is that one of the reasons people join these kinds of things is because you want to meet people who have similar goals to you and similar mindsets, right? Like you want to sing great music, but you want to meet other people who have that same interest.
Right.
Yeah. And I see that with every age group of the ensemble. I mean, I'm thinking about people who have been in the ensemble for 30 years, and they're still really close with the people that they came into the ensemble with at around the same time, and it's really beautiful to see those friendships, and how they've evolved, and how important choral arts is to their friendships and in their lives in general, which is really a cool thing. So do you have any goals for yourself being in choral arts?
Well, I'm going to audition this Saturday for the small ensemble. Um, and I don't really have any, um, I may or may not get in, but whether I do or not, that's fine. If I do, it'll be nice to have another opportunity, especially now that I'm probably going to get a part-time job doing something, but now that I'll have more time on my hands to devote to music. Um, yeah, that's my goal is to continue to become a better musician, to develop better technique. Um, and I think this is a place to do that. I mean, Marie is, both of you are excellent with the advice that you give on technique. And of course, as you know, with singers, you're not saying anything that isn't already known. It's just there's a need for so much repetition until it finally becomes a way of being.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm looking forward to is developing some techniques that become like a way of being.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. One that Thea Kano did with the Gay Men's Chorus that I'm very conscious of is she despised hearing breath.
Hmm.
And so she would just stop a piece if she heard a
Right.
she would just stop.
Wow.
And people learned very quickly. You don't make an audible breath.
Well, and there's kind of, I would say, two reasons behind that. Is number one, it's not really very nice to hear as an audience member, right? You don't want to hear the choir going, that's just not fun to listen to. But also from a technical standpoint, it's actually not good for your technique to be taking an audible breath. So it's really when it comes down to it, it's about that. You want to take a healthy breath so that you are able to sing the most freely and the most engaged, right? Like you're not running out of breath really quickly because you didn't take a good breath to begin with. So I see it from both ways, but that's amazing that she had enough discipline within herself to continue to stop. I know when I taught high school, I was really big on that. And sometimes, you get into your head and you stop thinking about those fundamental things when you're working with a choir. So the fact that she was still really, really on top of that, is incredible. Yeah. Nice. So do you think that choral arts has had an impact on, DC or just, its audiences specifically?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can see that in the audience, the numbers that turn out and the people that turn out. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm glad that we are, I know that the chorus has been through, since the founder's death, the chorus has been through some rough times, but I'm glad it feels like the, the patient's going to pull through and that the group is going to succeed and continue beyond uh, and carry out that legacy, to continue that legacy. I think we're in good hands.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So how do you see yourself contributing to the choir's future? Do you have do you hope to step into some other roles other than, being in the chamber ensemble?
At this point, no. I just want to be the best singer I can be, continue to develop the quality of my voice and to be the best singer I can possibly be and to contribute uh, in every way that I can and to be as little of a hindrance as I can. Mistakes happen, things happen. I don't ever want to be a hindrance to the goal of production of excellent music.
Absolutely, yeah, and that can from a conductor standpoint, uh, it we appreciate that so much that you that you want to be, filling your role and not necessarily, going out in different directions because that can be a lot for us sometimes, just having a lot of people getting involved. So that's always good to have somebody who's on time, learns their music, does what they need to do, shows up to rehearsal and goes home, Um, 'Cause it really takes all types of people to make an ensemble of this size flourish and do good things. So, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think I've got a lot of the questions that I thought would be interesting. I asked them to you, so if you have any that you want to
Well,
throw out
let
there.
me, yeah, let me turn that back. So what about you? How do you see your role developing?
You know, I'm not sure. I think there are some discussions about what the assistant conductor position looks like in the future. But right now, I know that I'll be here for this season and for next season. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm really about being a team player and making sure that I'm doing the best for this ensemble. I'm the kind of person that, like, once I become a part of a community, regardless of what my position is with it, whether I'm paid to be there or whether I'm just volunteering, I want to make sure that I'm doing what I can to make the ensemble better. And so because I sing in the ensemble, I can do it from that perspective, just like every other chorus member. But then because I have other duties on top of it, I'm really just trying to make sure that what I'm paid to do gets done, and that I can fill the holes that I see that I think are things that I'm capable and have the skills to fill. Um, so for me, it's all about, getting Marie's plan off the ground and really getting us to that next level, like she's hoping to do. And I think that we've displayed, based on our creation performance, that we're moving in that direction. So for me, that's what it's about. I'm here to be a team player. I've really enjoyed getting to know people in the ensemble. Everybody's been really supportive and really kind. It's interesting because, you talked about the history of the ensemble, and, walking into the first rehearsal, I didn't feel like people were bruised or anything like that. They were just so excited to be singing, and being together again. There's so many relationships that have been built through this ensemble that you can just see when you see people interact with each other. That it's clear that this is important to them, and they want to make sure that, we put the past behind us and we move forward and continue getting better and continue moving in that direction. So I think that's what I see myself as. I don't necessarily have any specific goals for myself beyond what I'm doing with the ensemble right now.
Yeah. It's amazing whenever I tell people that I sing with the Choral Arts Society, I always get these raised eyebrows and wow. It's a group that's highly respected and well known.
Yeah, I told my professor from Temple University that I was the assistant conductor, and he had kind of a similar reaction of like, "Wow, that's great for you, Shannon. Like, this is going to be a really good learning opportunity for you." And so I'm just trying to learn as much from what this organization has done in the past, what we're doing now, and what's going to come in the future. Because Marie has a lot to teach all of us, and I think we can learn a lot from the past. From Norman Scribner, and just be able to build on the legacy that has been created. I think that the 60th anniversary concert is going to be a really great representation of what choral arts has been and where we're going. And I think that that's what Marie's plan is with the whole program. This is what the organization is all about, and what we're going to continue to do with our performances and with building community. I think that her idea behind being an embassy, being partnering with the embassy and being an ambassador chorus is really cool. We've got a unique position being in DC, and kind of making ourselves that, as opposed to something else. Because choirs have all sorts of different identities. I think it's really cool that she's made this decision, and that's the direction that we're going to go. Because I thought, with being partnering with Estonia this year was really great. Having the Unity Sing. Did you go to the Unity Sing in the
I
fall?
didn't. No.
It was a really cool event. It was really fun, and we got to meet people from Estonia, and interact with them and sing with them, and we had wine and hors d'oeuvres and stuff, just a little bit afterwards. And it was really, really cool to talk with the people from Estonia who live in the United States right now and are just, it's interesting to hear how they absorb American culture through living here. But also, the same, happened for us a little bit by talking with them. So it was a cool experience, and I'm excited to see how that partnership with each embassy grows every year, and we learn more about each country in that way through music, which is a really great way to learn more about a different country. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how I got on that rant, but um, I'm
It's a wonderful experience.
yeah, I'm excited about this 60th anniversary. I think it'll be a really great concert for everybody, and a really important celebration for this organization. Yeah. Well, awesome, Raymond. Do you have anything else?
I look forward to seeing you this evening.
Yes, you too. We're gonna have a great first rehearsal for this concert. It's gonna be a good set of
Yes.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.
Yep. See you soon.